ACT Aspire is approaching. And on this test, on the writing test, you're going to be expected to write an expository essay, and you're going to have 45 minutes to do it, which means we have to start practicing timed essay writing. I don't like it. I don't think it's that realistic and that practical for the real world. But you know what? It is practical for you right now, because you're going to be judged on your writing at the first week of May or the last week of April. And you're going to be judged by how well you can write an essay in 45 minutes. So I'm going to show you another strategy, you can call it a hack, that will help you do the best you can without wasting any time. And basically what we're going to do here is we're going to write the most important 6 to 7 sentences of an expository essay. So let's say we're doing a prompt about your favorite vacation, and the outline happens to be about New York City. So you're going to New York City. And let's say the outline is, let's see here. Oh, here we go. So the outline is right here. The topic would be New York City. And this one, it's a very basic outline. You have 3 main ideas, and each main idea gets a detail. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by writing a basic introduction. After that, we're going to write a basic conclusion. The reason we're going to go with introduction and skip all the way to conclusion is because they are so similar, and it helps us to avoid repetition and boring introductions and conclusions, to write them right after each other. Also, because we can look at them and then we can change words if we need to make sure that it sounds different. The last step is going to be to write the first sentence of the body paragraphs, and to make sure that we're following the transition hack and that our main ideas are broad yet distinct. So let's begin. So based upon my outline, we're going to start with a complex topic sentence. All right, now I have used this before, and so I'll be able to do this pretty fast. And it will definitely take you more time, but the reason I'm showing you this video is to show you the process. So I'm going to start off with a white bus word. All right, although I have taken many wonderful vacations. So you can see I'm stating the position. I'm using a comma. My trip with my 2 best friends to New York City is the one I'll always remember. And so now I have a complex topic sentence. As you can see, after the comma, I stated my answer to the prompt. Now I'm going to write the map, the roadmap, where I'm going to simply list my main ideas in a sentence. This was a fantastic trip because of the sights we saw, the people we met, the plays we enjoyed. And actually, since those are the 3, I'll say, and the plays we enjoyed. So my introduction is done. I got my complex topic sentence, and I have my roadmap, and now I'm going to move on to my conclusion. My conclusion is going to have a definite or a definitive topic sentence or phrase. And I scratched that. It's going to be a definitive topic sentence that's going to begin with a topic, a definitive transition word, or a definitive transition phrase. So hopefully by the time you take this test, you'll have the different definitive words and phrases sort of memorized. And so you can start off with something like, without a doubt, comma. So now I have a definitive phrase, and I can restate my answer. But I got to make sure it's written differently. I can't say, without a doubt, my trip with my 2 best friends to New York City is the one I'll always remember, because that will be repetitive. So without a doubt, I want to use a word that's different than New York City. So I'm going to say, the Big Apple And watch this. I'm going to use a sort of what I guess you would call it an adage, or maybe it's an axiom. Without a doubt, the Big Apple is the apple of my eye. The fascinating experiences that my friends and I went through will stay with me. Let's say we say constantly or forever. Stay with me. Forever. And so now we got a basic introduction with a basic conclusion. So all I have to do now is write the first sentence of my body paragraphs, and I'm halfway there. So my first main idea is sights. All right. So I need to start off, and I got to say this something about the sights. So I might say something like, New York City is famous for its sights. Its sights and, let's see here, sights, scenery, we don't want to say scenery, maybe sights and attractions. Or we could say landmarks. I'm going to say that, landmarks. Now I got to come up with a second main idea, and this one has to use people we met. So I'm going to say something about maybe, they met, since it says right here, it says my cousin and his friends. I'm going to say the vacation was also, or I could say this, we also were able to meet, let's say we were also able to meet some wonderful people. All right. And so this one uses the transition hack of also. So New York City is famous for its landmarks. We were also able to meet some wonderful people. That's the first sentence of my second body paragraph. And then the first sentence of my third body paragraph. So by the way, you could also call these sentences main idea sentences. So the plays that we enjoyed. I could say lastly, we were enthralled. Lastly, we enthralled ourselves at the theater. Theater is another way of saying plays. Or you could say Broadway. Lastly, we enthralled ourselves with the Broadway plays. Well, we did that. And so we're done with the first half. You see, all I have to do now, I have my basic introduction. I have the first three sentences of my body paragraphs, and I have my basic conclusion. And this right here creates the framework for my essay. And when I'm done, or once I get to this part, I can focus on elaborating my details. And then if I have time, I can even go back to my introduction and add a grabber. I hope you can do this process just like I did.